Who has harmed whom? So, gentlemen, all of us who are engaged in the project, be it private sector or government sector, or cooperative sector or PPP sector, need to have our dharma of doing the projects well. Create such projects which have a glamour around them, which attracts public opinion and communicate. Gentlemen, I've said enough. I hope I have not disturbed many people, and thank you.
For Giri Saab, I want to say, he talked of communication, and I think he also knows and many people know. I started my publication 2007 with Hydro. Hetal is there as evidence. I think government must not communicate. Governments are bad communicators. Don't feel bad. Worst communicators. The best communicators, see, we have organizations. I have 2 trusts. And I tell you, I was told not to do a Hydro meeting. I was told not to promote. I don't want to name. मैंने बड़ी लड़ाइयाँ करी only to do this meeting. And I also want to tell Giri Saab, we are in 70 countries. No media, mass media of this country can reach like Inertia. I reach more than 70 leaders. Am I right, sir? And we are online. I want to be very proud. So please support organization. I have 2 not-for-profit organizations. One is Renewable Energy Promotion Association, which promotes. So we are the better communicators, specialists. So spend money, what he rightly said. And I will also request his organization. I went to him because his hands are tied. But these guys, chaps in the private sector, don't put any money. They blame the public sector. Today's meeting is totally public sector, and I am a private sector man, funded by public sector.
No, I think private sector.
No, this meeting, sir, Giri Saab, chhodiye. See, I have one of my friends, HCC. If these companies are not there, few of them who are contractors, you treat them like contractors. They are not. They are the best companies of the country. If Patel was not there, if HCC was not there, we would not have been here. Giri Saab, it is the people like Moser Bears and all the companies, sorry to name them.
No, we don't have funds.
नहीं, that's right. वो पहले से नहीं था फंड्स. सर छोड़िए. बोलिए मत, लैंको शैंको को हम इधर आने नहीं देता है. इस मीटिंग में एक भी लैंको का आदमी बैठा नहीं है. I have opposed them. So I tell you, let us call a spade a spade. These are all the frauds. You didn't name them, I named them. That is the difference. So there is a communicator called Professor Iyer and his team, and it is quite strong. हमने बहुत लड़ाई करी है, प्रसाद साहब ने बहुत बैक किया. And I tell you, this spirit has come because of this. So when you talk of communication, I will not agree. And Bhakra has communicated very well. They have always supported in whatever manner they have. अगर ये लोग नहीं हैं, I'm telling you, nothing would have happened. मैं आज भी बोलता हूँ, private sector developers have not taken responsibility. I will also tell you, there is an organization called JP. They have also supported us. We went to Bhutan. The only 2 logos I got from private sector, which only paid 2 lakh rupees, 1 lakh each. I am exposing this, was JP and Gammon. And I must now name a very important organization which has always supported this. These meetings of mine cannot happen without webcos. So congratulations to R.K. Gupta, and he may not come, but he is the public sector. गिरी साहब मैं बता रहा हूँ, आप कह रहे हैं पब्लिक सेक्टर ने कम्युनिकेट नहीं किया है. मैं बोलता हूँ पब्लिक सेक्टर नहीं होती तो मेरे जैसा प्राइवेट सेक्टर मीडिया वाले का सेक्टर होता ही नहीं है सर. मीडिया वाला बेचारा क्या है, 4th पिलर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी बता दिया, उसको बोला तू शहीद हो जा, तू कर ले, तू शहीद हो जा. आज की अगर मैं मीटिंग में मैं डूब गया तो मैं डूब गया, किसने आना नहीं है. या थरेजा साहब उनको फोन करता हूं, हमको कुछ नहीं मिलता. बड़ी मेहनत होती है सर, मैं सामने बोल रहा हूं आपके. लास्ट टाइम तो संतोष बोल के गए आप लोगों को, उसके बाद भी हम करते हैं ये. सो प्लीज रेस्पेक्ट द कम्युनिकेटर्स, एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो रेस्पेक्ट दैट विथ ऑल द कॉन्स्टेंट्स द पब्लिक सेक्टर इज डूइंग. But the private sector fellow never put their money where their mouth is, excluding the companies I named, HCC, Patel, and JP, and this type of companies whom I worked with, and they are the ones who are suffering today. It is them who you have killed in the economy. The ones who functioned, you have killed them. So this is my point, Otherwise I would have not talked, but I had to talk because आपकी सब बात मैं मानता हूँ. हम लोगों का एक्सपीरियंस है सर, इतने सालों से बैठ रहे हैं. आप देखिए, आज मैं एनएचपीसी को बहुत कांग्रेचुलेट करता हूं, उनके हेडलेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, लेकिन आज सपोर्ट कर पाए. आज शर्मा जी को थैंक यू ज्यादा बोलना चाहिए. तो फिर कैसे आप वो सपोर्ट करते हैं, कैसे, हाउ डू दे डू इट? दे विल. He rightly said we executed the projects in spite of that. So with all this, नहीं आइए शर्मा जी 5 मिनट ले लीजिए, देखिएगा बोल देते जितने, फिर वापस आ जाते.
Thank you, Professor Iyer. My colleagues and specialists on the dais, all ladies and gentlemen, and all our hydro specialists. I'll not go into the domain of, because a lot has been said by Mr. Prashad, by Mr. Agarwal, and Mr. Giri has, but what I want to say is entirely slightly different than, because hydro sector, everybody knows the problems, the prospects, the things we talk on geology. I'm not going to talk on that at all. Although I have worked both in public sector, mostly in public sector, 38 years, and 7 years in the private sector also. So 45 years in the hydro sector. The point is that why hydro is not getting through. I fully appreciate what Professor Iyer has said, that the Jayaprakash, I mean, my colleague is here. I mean, he has also been in the government only, but all have gone from the public sector to the private sector. Private sector has not come up without the public sector. So first thing I must say, that what public sector has done in the hydro, I mean, that has been the cursor to the private sector, and it is the public sector who has given the hydro sector, whether it is NHPC or THDC. NHPC, I mean, Mr. Giri was telling in, I think 40 years or so, 5,600. Let's not talk of 1,000 megawatt per year. Hydro cannot be constructed like 1,000 megawatt. There were projects when NHPC, I remember in 78 when it came, they were having only 3 projects. And projects were small, 3 into 60 megawatt, some Salal, I mean 3 into 100 megawatt, 6 into 100 megawatt, like that, and Loktak 3 into 35 megawatt, 105 megawatt. And long gestation period and all those things. Then when Mr. Prashad was there, this Chamera came and other projects when it has come up, I mean Udi has come up, they were the only cursor basically there. Now when THDC came, it was say 2400 megawatt. Now I have been in THDC for more than 18 years. And when the communication, I mean Mr. Prashad has been a very good communicator in NHPC as chairman. And what he has communicated, I will not say that the communication has been poor in the public sector. Mr. Prashad has been the best communicator to the government. But only thing is that the political environment and this thing, neither CA nor CWC is responsible, nor NHPC is responsible for the slow progress. Basically, no hydro project can be done without communication. I remember my experience in THDC when I had remained as general manager, executive director, director technical. I have done from concept to commissioning. Such a controversial project after Bhakhra. Bhakhra was the only reservoir project. Mr. Prashad has been talking on reservoir projects. This is the only second project, a biggest project after Bhakhra which has come. And without communication, do you think that the project can be done? No. There were, I mean, umpteen numbers of communication at the highest level of the government, at the highest level of the public, right from, I mean, the bottom level of the politician to the top level of the politician up to the Prime Minister. And that project, 3, I mean, committees, high-level committees, and all public involved, all public communication. It cannot be done without public communication. So I will not say, I don't agree that communication has been very poor in the hydro projects. Yes, I mean what Professor Iyer has said. I mean how to promote now the hydro sector when so much has been done by the hydro. I mean it is not the negative aspects. I'll come to the crux of this because I have been given 5 minutes. My focus would be what is happening today. Now, I take you to the coal sector. Everybody knows 2 days back, I mean on 25th, what has been done. After 20 years of the allocation of the coal mines, so they have been deallocated almost, I can say. 414, only 4 have been, I mean there. And the total thermal sector, particularly the private sector, is in doldrums today. Now today we have say 50,000 megawatt in Arunachal Pradesh. Almost 40,000 megawatt has been already allotted. Now on the allotment I am talking. What are the procedures which have been used for the hydro sector? Under the hydro policy, it is said there is a procedure laid down that how the projects are to be allocated. Now, allotment of the project is not within the domain of the Government of India. Neither under the Ministry of Power nor under the Ministry of Water Resources the projects can be given. It's a state subject. The state chief minister allots it. Now, in Arunachal Pradesh, 40,000 megawatt has been allotted. People have put a lot of money into the making of the DPRs. There are many good projects which are there. Even from NHPC, the Subansiri project was taken over, with force by the Honorable Chief Minister and given to the private sector. What procedure was adopted? Joint ventures were created, with the private sector. But what is happening? Although DPRs have been in place, I am also one of them, for the Italian project, the biggest project after 3,000 megawatt in the Dibang Basin. I did it in a very, efficient manner, as Jindal Power. But what is happening today? I am on that. If the coal sector, after allotment by the Coal India Limited and the Ministry of Coal, can go back after 20 years. Now, how a private sector where the projects have been allotted, this will not happen after the completion of the project after 10 years, and they say that now the water resource you cannot use it, although you have put in about 20,000 crore in your project. Now what will happen? So this is the burning topic today which is coming into my mind after the Supreme Court this thing. What will happen to the private sector? Today we know, Jayaprakash, you see, he has been also selling the projects which have been constructed by them, is one of the best, I must say, in the power sector, as a hydropower developer, Jayaprakash industry has done a lot of things. 3 projects they are on sale. First, somebody came from Canadian Fund or Dubai Fund, and somebody came from Reliance Power. Again, that is also backed out about 2 days back. Now, third party is also coming. And now, JSW is coming up. Now, these are all, but why Jayaprakash is selling? That is another issue which is coming up. It is because, but Yogendra Prasad ji has, already said on the grid code, power is to be sold. So, we must say, that in this, I don't know, Professor Iyer, I am finishing it up. Right. What is going to happen to the projects which have been allotted? Government should take now that stand, and if somebody wants, we must deliberate on this, that the allotment process, is it correct? Somebody should endorse the allotments were correct, then only hydro projects will happen in Arunachal Pradesh. Otherwise, if these aspersions comes on the allotment of the projects like coal mines allotment, the hydro projects will go to the doldrums. Other things I would not like to say, there are a lot of things are there, but the time constraint, but this is a topic which I am just telling you that it can be deliberated over the lunch, and what is to be done, something has to come up on this also during this conference. Right. Thank you very much.
लेकिन टीसी को सुनेंगे, अरोड़ा साहब को थोड़ा सुनेंगे हम आज on the hydropower sector. आइए अरोड़ा साहब, please, this is your dais today now.
Good afternoon. A very good afternoon after lunch, and dignitaries on the dais. We had a good session before lunch, and we heard from the prominent people about several things on the grid code. Mr. Prasad gave a very good information and elaborated that. Mr. Iyer also gave comparison between India and China and US. Well, when we look at these things, the issues indicated by these two gentlemen, and also on the implementation by Mr. Sharma, we believe that the problems are there, issues are there, and during the lunch time when we were discussing, and as Mr. Taneja said, the talent is available here, it's only how we utilize is the art of utilization still missing. We can't blame anybody else, it's our own people who have not been utilized properly, whether you call it bureaucracy, technocracy, or politician or whatever. But when you look at certain data at the published by CA regarding the deficit, peak deficit, or power deficit, and the way the 40% hydro component has gone down to 16%, and if you consider the load factor of hydro of 40% to 50%, we are not even able to come closer to the peak deficit by the one sector, which is really alarming, and we can't really ignore it. Now, we may have problems that it takes 10 years, we have geological surprises. There are surprises which are perceived risk, and there are surprises or risk indicated by technocrats themselves and call it provoked risk. So we have to really differentiate between the perceived risk, which the lenders or the developers can find a solution, engineers can find a solution, but the provoked risk is something which need to be understood by the technocrats and educate the people who are going to be decision makers. So that is where we are lacking behind, and I don't hesitate to say that. Look at France. France doesn't have a coal-based power plant. It has got nuclear and hydro. And if we are thinking on nuclear, the hydro is the only solution to get that combination of nuclear and hydro together. And then going a little bit away from hydro issues, now with the advent of a lot of renewable power coming, wind, solar, and the way we are talking about 50 gigawatt, when in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, it goes all of a sudden into the grid, by 5:30 everything goes out. Now how it is going to affect the grid? Are your coal-based power plant ready for cyclic operation? We haven't designed them. We haven't designed them for cyclic operation, and how much money will be lost in cyclic operation, as Mr. Prasad said, that 40% if you bring it down, you're basically burning money, nothing else. So that's what is going to happen, and it will not be loss of 100 crore or 200 crore, it will be in trillions of dollars. So cyclic operation, we have to make it ready. Now, in the end, I would like to say that we have been believing that we should create value out of value. I think those days are gone. We have to create value out of work. Thank you so much.